It's time for another WrestlePlanet news update as Jon Moxley's in-ring return has been confirmed, WWE released a statement regarding All Elite Wrestling, and an Attitude Era star has been in talks with AEW. And before we get into it, make sure you help me out and drop a like on the video and subscribe to see if we can get to 30,000 subscribers before the end of January, as many of you watching aren't subscribed to the channel, and yes, I'm talking to you. So let's get into our first story as another WWE superstar has requested their release. SmackDown's Mustafa Ali took to Twitter today to reveal that he has asked to be let go from the company, citing that he feels he cannot achieve what he wants to in WWE, and he would say, "I have a message that is much bigger than my dreams in pro wrestling. Despite my best efforts, I will not be able to deliver this message while working with WWE. Therefore, I am requesting my release from WWE." Whilst it's unknown if WWE will grant the release, it's worth noting that they have granted similar requests in recent times, most recently that of Toni Storm, who was let go from the company by request earlier this month. Ali hasn't been seen on WWE television since the 29th of October 2021, where he would lose to Drew McIntyre in just 2 minutes on an episode of SmackDown. He is known to be a creative talent and has pitched a number of ideas for his character over the years, but hasn't been able to force a significant push on screen. Should his release be granted, I'm sure that he will be able to make himself a staple of whichever promotion that he works for, and we will keep you updated should there be any further news about his request. Over the past few weeks, speculation has spread over the future of the Ring of Honor roster after the promotion went on hiatus last month in December. The names with the most rumors around their future is the current Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the Briscoes, who have been embroiled in an online feud with AEW's FTR after the two teams clashed at Final Battle, Ring of Honor's last pay-per-view to date. Many fans have been anticipating that the Briscoes will arrive in AEW, with both tag teams going back and forth on social media through promos, with the Briscoes even calling for AEW President Tony Khan to book them a private jet to All Elite Wrestling. This week, Khan would appear on Busted Open Radio, where he was asked about a potential move for Mark and Jay, and whilst he had praise for the duo, he said that nothing is official right now, and he said, "Well, it's a great team with a great history in Ring of Honor. We have a great roster right now. I think they're a great team, but no, nothing official on them. We debuted so many great wrestlers recently. You mentioned Mercedes Martinez yourself, and of course, we just saw the arrival of Brody King on Wednesday night." On last night's GCW Say You Will show, where the Briscoes retained their GCW World Tag Team Championships, they would issue an open challenge, which has led many to think that it will be answered by no other than FTR. With that said, this of course is just speculation, although the two teams do need a place to fight. Either way, the challenge will be accepted next week inside the Hammerstein Ballroom, with Game Changer Wrestling set to hold their biggest show to date. Next up, let's go to some video game news as we have the latest leaks regarding the upcoming WWE 2K22. Nils Aronsmeyer of Technic News took to Twitter last night to reveal a number of new details for the game, including a release date as well as the exclusive content included in the deluxe edition of the game. The game is said to be entering a 3-day early access on March 8th, 3 days before the release, meaning the game will be playable in less than 2 months. The deluxe edition will include the Undertaker Immortal Pack, as well as the Season Pass, which will bag you any future DLC releases at no extra cost. The Undertaker Pack will also include 3 additional Undertaker attires, including a Phantom Mask Undertaker, Lord of Darkness Undertaker, as well as a Boneyard Match version. You will also receive My Faction Evo cards for Undertaker and My Faction perks and bonuses. There will also be an NWO for Life edition, which includes everything from the deluxe edition as well as bonus New World Order content. The content itself is still yet to be known, although the journalist behind the leaks is saying that he's trying to get more information. The box art for the game was also revealed, with Rey Mysterio being this year's cover star. But what do you think of the latest WWE 2K22 news, and are you planning on buying the game? Let me know in the comments down below. Next, let's go to some contract news as a top New Japan Pro Wrestling star has signed a new contract. Hiroshi Tanahashi would take to Twitter this week to reveal that he has renewed his contract with the promotion, telling fans that he wants to do his best. Whilst the length of the deal wasn't revealed, it can be expected that he has signed on for a number of years due to a recent company policy change. In the past, New Japan contracts would be 1 year long, with them being renewed on a yearly basis, making them essentially rolling contracts. However, this approach was changed emerged when the company lost both Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles in 2016. The news of Tanahashi's new contract follows his IWGP United States Championship win at Wrestle Kingdom, where he would defeat Kenta in a no disqualifications match on Night 2 in the Tokyo Dome. 21 years ago, the 213-day ECW television title reign of Rhino came to an end as Extreme Championship Wrestling shut its doors. Even when WWE revived the ECW brand in 2006, the TV title would remain dormant, with the promotion instead choosing to opt for the return of just one belt, the ECW World Championship. With that said, Game Changer Wrestling would host their most notorious event from Detroit this past weekend, where the belt was seemingly on the line for the first time in 2 decades. The GCW Universe's white meat babyface Matt Cardona would take on Rhino, with Cardona taking to Twitter before the match to say, "The narrative is that Rhino is the last ECW champion. He's not. Ezekiel Jackson is. However, Rhino is the last ECW television champion. When I beat him tonight at GCW, I'll be the new ECW TV champion." Cardona would manage to defeat Rhino in the Man Beast's hometown, with him walking away with a replica version of the ECW television belt. This is technically the first time the belt has been on the line since December 15th in the year 2000, when Rhino defeated Spike Dudley to retain his title in New York City on ECW Hardcore TV. The next night at GCW's Say You Will, Cardona would continue to build heat on his current heel run by dropping the legendary belt in the trash ahead of his match with Joey Janela in the Hammerstein Ballroom next week. What a scumbag. And speaking of GCW, it's been confirmed that the promotion is set to see a major return. Reigning GCW World Champion and current AEW star Jon Moxley has been absent from wrestling since October 2021 after he pulled himself from all upcoming shows to enter an alcohol rehabilitation program in his battle with alcoholism. At the time, he was booked in the AEW World Championship Eliminator tournament, eventually being replaced by Miro. He was of course also the GCW World Champion, having beaten Matt Cardona for the title just weeks prior. Whilst Homicide was recently crowned as the #1 contender for the title, with a match booked for the Hammerstein Ballroom show next week, Moxley's status for the show was yet to be confirmed. However, GCW have officially announced that the champ will indeed be at the World on GCW show next Sunday on January 23rd, putting his title on the line in one of wrestling's most famous buildings. With the match now confirmed, this has led to speculation surrounding Moxley's AEW status, with it being unusual that Moxley would return to GCW before his main employer. This could mean we are set to see Jon Moxley make his AEW return this Wednesday on Dynamite, although of course this hasn't been confirmed. It could be the case that Moxley is simply returning to GCW to drop the title as he continues his absence. Either way, it's great to see that Moxley is well enough to return to the ring, with him set to headline GCW's biggest ever show. The World on GCW from Hammerstein Ballroom is available through FITE using our affiliate link in the description below, where you can watch the return of Jon Moxley for just $24.99 in the US and $14.99 internationally, with the whole card stacked from top to bottom. This week, the Toronto Star would release an article discussing the ongoing battle between AEW and WWE as they discuss the two promotions' ratings on TSN and Sportsnet 360 in Canada. In Canada, AEW Dynamite airs on TSN, whilst WWE SmackDown airs on Sportsnet 360, with AEW averaging 104,000 viewers last year, with SmackDown averaging 49% higher, with 155,000 viewers. With that said, the article notes that the numbers are much closer in the 25 to 54 demographic, with SmackDown only topping Dynamite by 14.5%, having 71,000 viewers compared to AEW's 62,000 viewers. The story would cite AEW's edgier product as the reason for the closer viewership with an older audience, with WWE actually releasing a statement to the publication taking a shot at the recent Bloody Street Fight tag match that saw Anna Jay and Tay Conti take on the Bunny and Penelope Ford, and the statement would read, "If you look at the gory self-mutilation that bloodied several women in the December 31st event on TNT, it quickly becomes clear that these are very different businesses. We had an edgier product in the Attitude Era, and in a 2022 world, we don't believe that type of dangerous and brutal display is appealing to network partners, sponsors, venues, children, or the general public as a whole." Whilst WWE appear to think that there is no place for an edgier product in 2022, there's an argument to be had that this is indeed false due to the successes of a number of gory adult-themed television series such as Game of Thrones, Vikings, and even the UFC to some extent. Either way, it's clear both promotions have a completely different idea on what works and what doesn't, making the battle between AEW and WWE that bit more interesting. Now let's go to our final story of the day as we look at talks between All Elite Wrestling and an Attitude Era star. According to Fightful, WWE Hall of Famer Lita was given the opportunity to make an appearance in AEW last year. Fightful sources have said that AEW had reached out to the former WWE Women's Champion back in 2021 to appear on a show, but the two sides were unable to come to terms. The report states that the plan was for her to appear in a program with AEW Women's World Champion Britt Baker, and there were talks between both parties with a creative plan said to have been laid out. The talks are said to have taken place in and around AEW All Out 2021, which went down in September. The talks between Lita and AEW reportedly ended on a positive note, and there was a feeling that the two could eventually do business together in the future. Instead of an AEW appearance, Lita is set to participate in the upcoming Royal Rumble match on January 29th, with her making her SmackDown return this past Friday, her first appearance on the blue brand for 20 years. She would lay out SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair with a twist of fate. And before you go, make sure you check out my video where I discuss 12 of the most obscure WWE appearances by AEW wrestlers.